Today's video is a special one for multiple reasons, actually. The first reason is it's on a RCF track edition, one of the most rare Lexuses in the entire lineup. Maybe not the #1 spot, but definitely close to it. The second reason that it's such a special video is if you look back to our older videos on this channel, one of the first videos we ever did was actually on an RCF track edition, and I wasn't even the host of that video. But today I am, and I'm really excited to take a really close look, both using my phone gimbal to get up close to the details and also take it for a drive to see if it really does earn that rare Lexus spot. I'm Dustin Mason from Performance Lexus in St. Catharines. We purposely parked it in the shade, but I do want to show it in the sunlight at some point because there is so much detail. So the first thing you're going to notice about the RCF Track Edition is the kit that it has. So the lip that's all around it is a very beautiful carbon fiber. And again, in the sunlight, you can see a bit more detail to it. And I always like carbon fiber that has some flaw to it because that shows, you know, the handmade, not mass-produced style of carbon fiber. And I remember when we had a track edition here before, I found some of that, which was really interesting. And it's even more important because that carbon fiber is said to be built on the same weaving machine, I can't remember the proper name of that, as the LFA. So that's kind of a cool detail. The other bit is the carbon fiber hood. So again, with this gray, it really pops and you can see that detail there. And even underneath it, it has a really cool design to it. What trumps all of that though is the brakes. So as you get up close to the brakes, especially with this gray color, you can see that massive carbon ceramic multi-piece brake setup that, again, just screams fast track car. And the red caliper really pops too with this gray. I'm probably obsessing over the gray more than I need to, but I only saw a black one before, so I'm excited that, you know, we have a little bit of diverse there. So just looking at that carbon ceramic logo there with the F, and again, I always think it's cool seeing the fasteners on these style of brakes as well. And then obviously that texture of the carbon ceramic itself. That's one of the big things that really separates this car, is those types of bits there. The suspension, the aero, and those brakes really make this thing a track edition because underneath the hood is actually the same power as the regular RCF. But things like these track goodies, as well as the different differential ratio and stuff like that, and the launch control, all of those things really add to the car. Also, important to note that this vent is real. I've seen some things online talk about fake vents. This is real. It's coming right from inside that wheel well. That's what makes this a true F car. The side skirts are pretty nice. I like that they're not too big and they're not too small that you wouldn't notice them, especially with the way they jet out. But super, super cool lip kit there. It's not too, you know, tuner boy either. And also let's look at that rear brake. Super shiny. Also, while we're up close, this is a lightweight BBS wheel. In fact, back in this year, this was a lighter wheel than even offered on the BMW M4. And I like the shape of it, how it exposes that brake, because without that, we wouldn't be able to see it. Let's look at the rear profile a little bit here. A couple things on the back. One is usually there's a titanium exhaust there. The owner of this car actually just switched it out for the Borla because even though the titanium exhaust has a unique sound to it versus, for instance, the regular RCF, the sound isn't necessarily louder. And especially for a V8 of this caliper. So a lot of owners do tweak the exhaust a little bit. We did a Borla here, so I'm gonna fire that up and listen to it after because I haven't heard it yet. But also I've seen NVIDIA, I've seen Joey's, all of those sound great with these types of engines for sure. In fact, I know someone with an ISF that he spent like $10,000 on his entire exhaust setup to perfect that sound. So we'll get up close to that soon. What I want to point out, and I'm gonna, maybe we can see it better from the other side, because the sun, yeah, there we go, is the F logo that is hidden in the weaves of that spoiler. How cool is that? And also talk about engineering for something not other than aesthetic pleasure is the carbon fiber on this little F logo here. They had to change the whole weaving process to be able to get that. And again, that just shows you some of the Lexus details of that, which I really like. Also back here, we have the carbon fiber diffuser. So again, super cool. I know I'm zooming into a lot of carbon fiber bits here, but it is definitely my favorite thing about this car. I like touching it, I like getting up close to it. There's the Borla exhaust. Also the quad setup still, which is nice to retain that. Just a little bit of that back end. Super, super nice. Another thing about these cars is they're holding very strong value. I know in 21, when we had our black one, which is the same year as this one, there was only 4 in the country. And I think over the whole production run for Canada, there's only like 10 ever made and delivered to dealers. So super rare in that sense. And whenever you see a rare car like this, usually they retain pretty good value. I mean, when you look at the average luxury car, even for Lexus, it depreciates at a rate of like, you know, $10,000 a year sometimes. More if it's a high performance car actually. And this one, I mean, if we did the math, it's probably depreciating like $1,000 or $2,000 every year, and that'll eventually stop because production has ceased on the RCF. So having a special RCF theoretically should mean retention of value, especially because under the hood, that V8 is a high performance V8 that's also reliable. Usually you get one or the other, especially in this price bracket. You can get a really fun, fast German competitor to this, but usually they depreciate quicker because they're less reliable, which is usually fine for a lot of buyers. There's a couple more details I really want to go over, but they're inside, so let's open it up. So, classic RCF entry until you get in, and then we can see some special stuff here. One is a common theme to the carbon fiber, and it's Alcantara, but not just any Alcantara. This is a very unique, like in most of Lexus's lineup, we have something called Ultra Suede, and this is like actually true Alcantara, and you can see it by the wear on it, which I really like. And it's actually matching the carbon fiber. So the carbon fiber on the interior has an extra strand of red, where on the outside there is no red in the strand, the inside there is to tie the interior together. The seats are different as well. So this, instead of a perforated seat with like leather inserts, there is no leather on that seat surface other than that center bit. It's all Alcantara as well. There's no heated seats, there's no cooled seats, but there's Alcantara to keep you in place. Also, it's one of our only cars with red carpets to match it all together. Let me sit inside. Speaking of red, even up here above the handle, sorry, above the steering wheel, I don't know why I called it a handle, is also red, and you can see that when it's driving. So actually, when you see one of these on the road, when you look inside that windshield, you're greeted by that red. And I saw a really funny video on another YouTube channel, I think it was Straight Pipes, and they said instead of grip and grain, it's grip and red, which is like a cool showcase of, you know, what this interior has. And you can see it from the outside. Also unique steering wheel, where it's perforated all around. And then the F and the red insert at the bottom is a little separate. Just zooming in on that F there. Otherwise, pretty classic RCF interior. We have the remote touch interface. You know, we have a little bit of red on that shift knob, which is nice. And it's a pretty decent sized shift knob. We have different drive modes, which is kind of part of the special bit about this car. The current owner was telling me he has customized, so you can do Eco, Normal, Custom, Sport, and Sport Plus. Now, because it's the track edition, the Sport Plus is really, really stiff, but he likes the way it shifts and things like that. So what he's done is done a custom setting where his suspension is soft, but his shifting and throttle response is like Sport Plus level aggression. And he finds it to be a really nice balance. If he's taking it to the track, obviously the Sport Plus will be the way to do that. But for normal everyday driving, that's like the best of both worlds, he says. We do have launch control. This is one of the only Lexuses with launch control, which I really like that. I think that also is special to add, you know, features that aren't just aesthetically pleasing, but also have some function to it to make it, you know, worth that difference. And we have some, you know, track times, G-force meter, of course, lap timer, the history of the fastest lap you've done. All of those things are right here on the dash. And I believe it uses the GPS to do that, which is great. I mean, most of the time you're probably just gonna leave it in like your range setting or your fuel economy setting, which just realized, unless he just got gas, that's really good fuel economy for a V8 sports car. It's 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers. And then we also have some different temperatures and stuff up there too. We have the coolant temperature, oil temperature, both kind of stacked beside each other with some color as well. Alcantara, actually no, it's not Alcantara. The roof is not Alcantara, that's interesting. But yeah, that's the interior. I want to hear how it sounds. Let's fire it up. Okay, so now we are ready to drive. I'm gonna put on my sunglasses. These are new. I got them from one of our fans, whose name I won't mention to blow her cover, but big shout out to my sunglass hookup. They're way different than I usually wear, so it's a big deal. I'm just gonna set everything up here. We're gonna try a few of the driving modes. Probably I'm gonna start with normal. So we're already in normal, but it is a little warm today. I forgot to mention, the RCF has a cool climate control panel. It's like the IS, but different. There's a bit more texture to like the back plate. All right, here we go. This will be fun. I like it. Also, it's gonna be good to see the paint in the sunlight. There is a lot of flake to it. Where in the shade, it looks like it's just got like a bit of a blue hue to it, when in actual fact, there's some flake there, which is really nice. Gonna go around the speed bump. There is good ground clearance, I would say, but I still always just do one at a time. Reminds me of the Supra I have, which if you haven't checked out my other channel, check out A Dusty Life, where I filmed more car stuff, motorcycle stuff, airplane stuff, and I have a 95 Mark IV Supra, which I recently just did some more engine work to and a bit more build to it. When I go over these speed bumps at my work, I have to go very much one wheel at a time, or I'll scrape. This car did it a lot easier than that. You know what I just realized? In our old video on this car, the one that Mitch was the host, I did write that video, by the way, and I was behind some of the camera work. That was me and Bhaskar's first time really doing a YouTube video. He talked about a Mark Levinson sound system. I don't think it has it. I don't see the words Mark Levinson anywhere in here. And usually the knobs would be different too. We might have misinformed people on our first video when it came to this, so. And I guess technically it wasn't our first video, it was our second video. The first video we did was actually on a custom LC that we built. And that's how we got the RCF Track Edition, was because we did an Artisan Spirits LC and we built that. My boss Mark somehow let that happen and gave us a budget to like do a custom body kit that we flew in from Japan. We had to get the instructions translated. We put a wing on it. We made this LC look like the Batmobile. And then we had to sell it. And for like a split second, I was like, oh my God, is anybody gonna buy this thing? Like, we increased the price by like 40 grand or something like that. Put Vossen wheels on it. And someone did, a local guy who I actually might see this weekend at our LC event. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna get on the highway right away. Even in normal mode, it feels more stiff than a lot of our cars, like definitely more than my IS. And the owner told me to hit the red line. He said, if you're gonna drive this car, drive it. And I love that. The red is bright too, by the way. It's not the Rioja red, it's like bright like the circuit red, but with the Alcantara, it's even brighter than that per se. And the owner of this car is pretty cool. He's got other cars in his collection. He's always had some special muscle cars. And it sounds like this one is one he's gonna keep for a while. He's mentioning it ticks a lot of boxes, like the history behind it, the special factor, and then also the fact that it's reliable and pretty low maintenance and things like that too. Like while he was here, we just printed him off the maintenance schedule and it's not bad, especially for a high performance car. It's just like a Lexus, right? Okay, you know what, we have to do sport. We're gonna do sport to get on the highway. I wanna do Sport Plus, because that's where I'm gonna punch it. And I'm gonna use the paddles too. Yes. Really good mechanical feel. I just went down into first. Oh my gosh. I'm definitely gonna end up losing the camera car when I punch it. I'll let him get a little bit ahead of me perhaps. There we go. That's wild. That is athletic. Okay, I didn't bounce off the red limiter, but I still felt it. Really, really good. Lots of acceleration. Oh my God, the handling is tight. This is like Porsche 911 territory. Wow, super tight. You point it and that's where it goes. There's no body, in Sport Plus, there's no body roll at all. In fact, it feels like the car's leaning into the corner, but it's bouncy. This reminds me of my Supra. This is how bouncy my Supra used to be until I adjusted the suspension. Wild. This is really good. Oh, great downshift. Nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it in the custom mode that he made, because that'll be the best of both. Because it is bouncy, and I'm a pretty light guy, and I can feel my body moving around. Yeah, the custom's great. It's still holding the gear in third right now, and I just hit bumps, and it's tackling them pretty well. Like I said, it's still more stiff than like my IS, but just a blast. This is super fun. There's gonna be like an S bend that's coming up that I'm gonna I'll put it back in Sport Plus and really rip it. Also, I see some people looking at us because they're like, what kind of car is that? They probably think someone put like a kit on an RCF. Okay, downshift, let's do it. We're going the speed limit, and I'm gonna punch it in third, okay? That was fun, that's really good. He told me to do it, folks. The owner told me to do it. That's the nice thing about this. Usually I'm doing like brand new cars that we have to sell at some point. And this one, I get to just like, the owner told me to rip it. So I get to rip it. And it's only got 15,000 kilometers on it. This car is gonna be worth a fortune. One day. Actually now it is, but even more so soon, I'm sure. Oh, the wing looks great too, by the way. When you look in the rearview mirror and you just see that carbon wing, and like even with my sunglasses on through a mirror, through a rear windshield, I can see carbon fiber detail, which is sick. Okay, we're getting off the highway. I'm gonna put it back in Sport. So Sport, just like all other Lexuses, does just the gearing and the throttle, and then Sport Plus really tightens up that suspension. I should have asked him if I could launch control it. I bet you he wouldn't mind, but I'm not gonna do it because he didn't specifically tell me I could. We're gonna go right here. Come on, let's go right. Yeah, there we go. It's important when filming these types of videos that the person in the camera car and you kind of have an intuition. It's like a dance, Bhaskar calls it, because I know where he's gonna go. He knows where I want him to go. My best friend is also the other person that I will film with because of that. Is he just knows, he kind of knows what I'm gonna do before I do it. Bhaskar is the same, that's our video guy. I really wanna try out this S-Bend. Oh, it lights up the tires a little bit. Super nice. Yeah, really, really nice. The shifts really punch you forward a little bit. There's not many of our cars that have hard shifts like that, and I like it. Again, it's track edition. It's supposed to be the sportiest of our cars. It's supposed to be this one. It's one of our only, actually, is it our only track edition in any car? I guess it is. Like we have an IS 500, but there's no track edition. We have LCs, but there's no track edition. So this should be the most raw sports car we have, other than the LFA. Yeah, you can see in the camera the bumps. It's nice. Because that means that they made it a true Sport Plus mode instead of just like a mild version. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna do that same loop, but in custom mode, like the owner set up, because I think that's gonna be nice. Just parking this car is fun. It's a nice size, it's tight. It does really remind me of a 911. And I always compare that to, you know, the benchmark, because I always say that I'm saving up one day for like an LC or a 911. And then I drive one of these and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so good. Also, this car does like to slide. I know I've seen videos of it versus the M4, and a big difference is it likes to kick out the rear end a little bit, which I'm a fan of. I like that. I do that in the Supra all the time. So that's the thing though, I should talk about this engine. It's not a low-end torque engine. It is a high revving torque engine. So you have to like get it up above 5,000. That's crazy. That's crazy. I love that. That sound of it bouncing off the rev limiter, oof, music to my ears. And by the way, even with the Borla exhaust in here, it's not bad. You get some intake noise, you get a bit of that exhaust noise. It's not humming or annoying. I mean, if I roll down the window, I can hear more. Yeah, this custom setting is where it's at. The owner knows, he knows what's up. It's still really tight because of it being the track edition, but it's not bouncy. It doesn't have that recoil like the Sport Plus mode. Also, these cars had a different differential. Instead of the electronic differential, this one just had the mechanical torsion, and that's why it can slide so well, as it's all just mechanical. It's doing a bit of thinking, like, you know, if I turned off traction control totally, I betcha it would still have something in there to keep me from spinning out all the time. But if you could live without heated seats and cooled seats, this could be a good touring car, especially in this mode. Feels good. By the way, the brakes are also really grippy. They're not like hit your face against the windshield grippy. Like I have an older LS that has the Brembos, and I just put, you know, a high performance brake on that because it was time to change the brakes. And when I touch the brake, like my face literally goes flying forward, and also they squeak, where these ones, there's no squeaking. And like when I push them, when I really want to brake, they brake. But not like I have a good threshold there. It's funny because as I'm talking about braking, the guy in front of me just locked up his tires. Braking for a roundabout that he was nervous about, I think. I would love to do like some tunnel runs with this car. Actually, we're gonna go under like a little bridge here. I wanna hear the exhaust. I'm gonna put it in manual mode for that. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The crack is what's up. That reminds me of the LC video in the convertible. When I did that, it was in this exact same spot on the highway, and the crack of that exhaust when it hits redline is just amazing. It's legitness, if you remember me saying from that video. Okay, back to normal mode. I got my custom suspension set up, and it's just smooth. We're just chilling. It's got radar cruise. I do feel a bit of vibration. I wonder what that is. I think it's just these high performance tires. These are Pilot Sports 4s on the roadway. I think I love it. I'm in love with it. If I wanted like another high performance coupe, this would be it. I say this is almost closer to my Supra than the new Supra is. It begs the question, there is a rumor right now, actually I think it's confirmed, I don't even think it's a rumor anymore, is that Toyota is going to make a Supra with the V8 in it. And I was telling my staff, if it comes manual V8, I'm gonna have to remortgage my house and buy one for sure. And this is kind of like that. It's a rear drive platform, V8 engine, small coupe, got Lexus details everywhere you look. Reliable, high performance V8. Love that. Oh, there's like an AMG GT or something like that, maybe GTC getting on the highway. And if there wasn't so much traffic, that would be a great roller beside. It's blue. It's like a dark blue. That would look crazy beside this. So there we go. I loved it. This was a great drive. I'm really excited that I got to do this. Super thankful that I have viewers like you guys watching this video. I mean, I don't get too sentimental too often, but looking back 3 years ago, like this channel was just an idea over a lunch. And you know, now we've built this community, right? 40,000 subs later, and everywhere I look, there's people reaching out that want to be a part of it, want me to feature their car, or just, you know, say thank you for the videos and for the content and for the lessons and tutorials and everything from consumers to dealerships themselves to new employees to salespeople. I think that's really special, and it couldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you for watching. It's super important to me. That's the end of Sentimental Dusty for one day though. We're gonna put it in sport just because the owner is outside and I want him to hear it. Because I like to hear my own cars, and it's rare I get to see my own cars driving without me. So for him to see it, he's gonna think that's cool. So there you have it, a deep look at the RCF Track Edition and a little bit of driving as well. And now I'll tell you why, the third reason why this video is so special and so is this car, and that is because it came from a viewer like you. That's right. Big shout out to Mr. Barlow for letting us borrow his RCF Track Edition for today's video. And if you're watching this and you have an interesting Lexus for us to film, please reach out to me directly. We would be super happy to feature it on this channel. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, this car, and of course, if you have an interesting Lexus that we can film on the channel sometime, please reach out to me directly, and I'll see you in the next video.